it's Amy from Winterwood Studio, and today we're going to take this painting I did right here, a mixed media painting, and we're going to turn it into a sticker. We're going to be using Procreate and my Cricut to make it into a die cut sticker, but I will also show you how to make these sticker sheets as well at the end. This is the first in a series on how to set up your own art business, the very first video in the series. So if you want to see the other videos in the series, please make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss those. I plan to cover ordering custom products from manufacturers, the business aspect of it, like setting up business licenses and how taxes work and all of that. I'm also going to cover how I make my own prints at home. I'm going to talk a little bit about marketing and how to somewhat tell if you think something might sell or not, and what I've done in the past to figure stuff like that out. And I also plan to talk about all my favorite supplies. That's probably going to be the next video, where I talk about like the actual supplies you have to open an art shop, like printers and what I recommend, and cutting machines and stuff you need for shipping, and what kind of website you should have, and all of that. That'll probably be the next video 2. So if you want to see all of those videos coming up, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and then you won't miss any of them. All right, so let's get into making stickers. Okay, so the first step in making stickers starts with scanning our artwork if we're using traditional art. Now this is just a little bit too big for this scanner bed here, but that's not a problem. Oops. We just turn it sideways, and I'll show you how to put it together in Procreate to make a full image. And you can also use that technique to make a print file if you want to make prints. So I'm going to hit scan, and you want the setting to be 300 to 600 DPI or more if your computer and scanner will handle it. This scanner does go up to 600 DPI, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, and when that side is done, you just want to flip it over and do the other side. Make sure you line it up straight on the scanner. That's the one thing you have to do, because you can't fix that once it's in a file. I mean, you can, but it's hard to line it up then. The first thing we're going to do is open Procreate. When I bought this, it was a one-time fee of, I think, $9. And the artwork that I did was... Okay, I'm going to do an extra step here. You don't have to do it this way if you don't want to. I just like to do it this way to start because I feel like it's easier to line up a big piece this way. If I was doing just a small sticker, I wouldn't do it this way, like if I had a small drawing. But because this was a big piece, I need the actual dimensions of the piece to line it up. So I'm going to do 12 inches wide by 9 inches tall, 600 DPI, because that's how big the paper was that I was working on. Okay, so we're going to go to the little wrench right here, and we're going to hit add, and I'm going to say insert a file because it's not saved in my photos, it's saved in my Dropbox. And I'm going to go to my Dropbox and go to the folder where I have it, and then open it. And I'm going to wait for everything to show up, and then I'm going to import the first side. And these will automatically go on separate layers from the background, which is really important. I'm just going to line it up down here like that. And then, see how that's background layer, layer 1, and then we're going to import another one. We're going to do the exact same thing again. And we're going to do number 2. Okay, so we have both our photos imported. The next thing, the next thing we want to do is we're going to go over here and we're going to turn the opacity down. And what you're going to do then is line these up. When it doesn't look blurry anymore, that means they're totally lined up. And now we are going to turn the opacity all the way back up again. So there are 2 scans all lined up. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our eraser, we're going to go to hard brush, and we're going to turn the opacity down to about 75%. Let's turn it up a little bit more. Let's try 80%. Yeah, that's good. And we're going to just go over this line. We're going to go over the line with the eraser until you can't see the line anymore. And you can feather this in even more by lowering the opacity even further and then just going over any areas that seem off to you. Okay. Now, when we're happy with this, we're going to merge these two layers together by pinching them together like that. Now it's all one layer. And now we're going to just sort of center this a little bit more. And we're going to take our eraser, and still the hard one, but we're going to turn the opacity all the way up. There are other ways to do this, but for beginners, this is the fastest way, I think. And we're just going to erase the background. You do want to make sure that you get all the background erased. If you leave a speck behind, the Cricut will think it's something it needs to cut, and it will try to cut it out. So your file of your photo, instead of your sticker, instead of being right here, will like have a offshoot going off there where the Cricut thinks there's something else to cut. I have a paper feel protector on my iPad here. It makes drawing a lot more enjoyable for me, but you can hear like the pencil scratching over it because it's a little bit rough and textured. It makes the pencil not as slippery, I find, on the screen. I know I'm not going to have any of that white border in here, so I can erase that. And then something I like to do periodically when I'm making a sticker from my art is to take the background and make the background a really dark color, and so you can see where you might have missed spots you need to erase, like there, and this is not all the way erased. It's very helpful. And then I'll do a final pass. That might just be something on my screen. I'll do a final pass when the sticker is done like this, and I'll zoom in really close. I'll show you how I do that when I get there. But now I'm going to turn it back to white. So now we're going to zoom in, and we're going to start getting a lot closer to the center of what we want to be our sticker. And I'm going to get small here with my eraser, and I'm going to really erase all in here. And then you can zoom out every now and then and see how you feel about that. I don't think I want quite that much stuff poking out, so I'm just going to go like this. Okay, I'm going to check the background again. And I'm going to do a zoom in. I'm going to erase the top of this here in a minute because we're going to make some digital touch-ups here. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. I'm going to zoom in really close now, because it's really super annoying when you start your Cricut and it's cutting spots you don't want it to cut. Okay, so that was step one. Now we're going to move on to step two. So to do that, we're going to turn the background layer totally off so you have a transparent layer, and you're going to go to the little wrench again, and you're going to, under share image, go to TIFF or PNG. I think I'm going to switch to a PNG now. They're both equally good. I like to work with PNGs. And then I'm going to say save image. Okay. So now that will be saved on my photo roll here on my iPad. So I'm going to go to gallery, and now this is when we're going to do a different setting because stickers are for printing. So I am going to, do I have it saved here? I might have it saved. Yep. I'm going to do a 3 by 3 inch canvas because I know that my sticker is not going to be any bigger than that, and I'm going to use CMYK, which is printer settings. The rest of them where you don't see CMYK, that's RGB, that's digital art for screens. If you switch to CMYK, the printer will have an easier time matching the colors. So then I'm going to go to the little wrench again, and I'm going to go to add this time, and I'm going to say insert a photo, and there it is. So it's inserting into here. Okay, so this is, I know 3 by 3 inches, so I'm going to want it a little bigger than that. Here, I'll show you what happens. If I make this too big like this and then go off the layer, and then go back to move it, that part of his ear is gone forever now. So don't do that. Actually, I don't want to do that either. Gallery. So I'm going to redo this. Once your image gets sized down, if you go off the layer like I did with the ear, the quality when you size it back up isn't as good. So while it's still in this first stage when it's movable, before you size it down or before you go off the layer, the quality is still as high as you can get. Like, this is the quality of a 9 by 12 inch painting on a 3 inch by 3 inch square. So I'm going to make it, I think, about that big. Just for reference, this sticker I think was, let's get a ruler. Okay, so this sticker, if you measure its longest part, is just under 3 inches. So yeah, this is probably just under 3 inches too. Let's keep it at this. So this is going to be our layer here. So I'm going to go off this layer now. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to make some digital changes to this sticker now. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I do like to do it. So I'm going to pick, I think, rough ink. Let's try it out. Yeah, I'm going to pick rough ink for this. I'm not sure where I got that one. That might be a pack I bought. It is a pack I bought. The Inking Day pack, and I can't remember which artist I bought that from. If you tap and hold on a color, it selects that color, and then you automatically have the same color. So I'm going to tap and hold. The opacity's down on this, and it's a little too big. So I am just going to make this look like it's not just all one cutout layer. I like to do this to my stickers to make it look like the artwork is actually on. Except I made this one too big. What did I do now? Oh yeah, I still have it on the hard brush. Let's do that. Let's make the pencil a little smaller too, so it's more wispy. That's better. And I'm also going to make this eraser really small and sort of, not that much, maybe lower the opacity, just erase in to make it less. I don't like that one though. Just more wispy, I guess. And not all one block of color. And then we'll switch back to that. Just do the same thing to the edges all around and switch back and forth between that and the really wispy eraser. And then one thing I want to do, this is also where you can fix mistakes. I'm going to make this a little bit darker and just define this edge of this guy's nose a little bit more, because I felt like you had trouble telling where the mom's nose started and his ended. Yeah, I like that better. And I think I'll also just do a little bit more of his mouth. All right, let's see how that looks. Okay. All right. So that is the finished artwork. Now it's time to turn it into a sticker. So if you had more than one layer now of artwork, you would merge that all down together. So I'm going to start by turning off the background color. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to pull it under here. And then I'm going to switch to white, and I'm going to go to the hard brush, and I'm going to turn on the stabilization. This is my settings. This is how I usually use it when I'm doing that. So I turn the streamline to 3%, the stabilization to 11%, the motion filtering amount to 12%, and expression to 13%. And that looks good. And I'm going to come in here now, and let's see about the size. That's way too big. We need to make that a lot smaller. How's that? Yep. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start, and we're going to, this is going to be our cut line. So make sure it's far enough away from your actual artwork. that there's no chance it will cut into your artwork. We're just looking for a nice, smooth border. And that's why we turned the stabilization on, because, oops, you can see how that's like a chunky cutout there. You don't want that in your sticker. You want a nice smooth border. We'll come back, I'll show you how to fix that in a minute, but let's finish outlining first. I do my best to move from my shoulder and not my wrist for this. The more you move from your wrist, the shakier your line will be. And if you want that really smooth, professional looking cut line, it's better to move from your shoulder. And you know, sometimes you have to redo it a couple times. So don't feel bad if you do. That's totally normal. Sometimes I'll have to redo a line many times before I get it as smooth as I like. It's easier to redo a line than to try to smooth a line out that you already have. Make sure you twist and turn your canvas as needed. Okay, let's take a look at this and see what we think. That looks good to me. So then the next step is trying to smooth things out. So your best bet might be to just go over it again and try to smooth it out. But let's say you leave a spot like that. Okay, so what you can do is go to your eraser, make it kind of small, and then put in the arc and then wait. And it will turn it into a perfect arc, and then you just erase outside. Let me show you what I mean with not an eraser. Let's just do another layer, and I'm going to pick to a color you can see. This works for both the eraser and the pencil tool. So let's say you draw a line. If you want a straight line, it'll straighten it out for you. And that's how you would make a perfect arc, like that. Just wait and hold, and it straightens it out for you. It can also do that with, if you do a circle and wait, that's the ellipsis. But if you put 2 fingers on the screen, that makes a circle. So that's a little tip for you. Now let's get rid of this layer because we don't need it. So anyway, that's what I was doing with the eraser to make sure the line was nice and smooth. There's a little bump here that I don't like. I'm going to go to the eraser, make it very small, and just erase it down so it's smooth. All the white part of the sticker outlining has to be on the same layer, or the cut machine will get confused. 2 fingers is undo, and 3 fingers is redo, in case you didn't know. All right, then the next step in our sticker, we're going to click this little arrow so that top layer isn't visible, and we're going to color this whole thing in with white. You can just go like this. Okay, so I did the color drop, but you can see it makes these lines right here, and if when you're coloring it in you miss any spot, it will cut there. So I found that I prefer to just make my brush big and fill it in by hand. It's easier for me to make sure I'm overlapping and getting everywhere I need to go. I think there's probably a way to fix that color drop threshold, but I've never bothered to look it up because I just do this and it works fine for me. This is also now your last chance to check your outline and make sure you're happy with how smooth it is. That looks a little not smooth to me there. I'm a little bit picky too. You don't have to be as picky as me. I don't like that right there. And now I'm going to just turn that off altogether. And also sometimes that helps because the lines will show you the grid that you're seeing underneath. You can see little bits against it. And that looks good to me as well. Now it's time to export it so we can send it to Cricut Design Space. So again, I'm going to hit the little wrench and I'm going to go to share and I'm going to go to PNG file and I'm going to put it in my Dropbox. This is my iPad. My computer is a Dell PC. I don't have a Mac, so I use Dropbox instead of like AirDrop or whatever it is that they have with Mac. So I'm going to call this Fox Family Sticker. Done. And I'm going to put it in that file and done. Okay. I'm going to take you over to my computer now and we'll send this to the Cricut. Okay, so here we are over in my Cricut Design Space. And I am going to show you how I make a sticker. So we're going to start by going to Shapes. And we're going to pick a rectangle. And we're going to come up here and we're going to click the little unlock button. And we are going to say, we're going to say 6.75 for the width. And then we're going to say 9.25 for the height. This is how big the max cut area of the Cricut is. I have a Cricut Explorer Air. I think this is the max size for all the Cricuts except maybe the Maker, but I don't know for sure. It doesn't matter what color this is, we're going to get rid of it at the end, but we need it right now to position our stickers. So the first thing we're going to do is go down to Upload, and we're going to upload an image, and we're going to find our sticker and open it. I always pick complex for my stickers because my artwork is complex. You can read through and pick what you feel like you need to pick, but I always pick complex. I don't need to do the background remover. I already did it. Sometimes if you hit remove background, it will remove your white border, and I don't like to do that. So I just leave it the way I have it. We're going to do print, then cut image. So we're going to click this, and we're going to click upload. Then we're going to click this again and say add to canvas. Okay. So obviously this is way too big. We're going to scale this down. And we said we wanted this at about 2.5 across. So that is right there. So now I'm going to say right click, duplicate. And I will turn my stickers to fit as many as I can on the sheet, making sure, actually I'm going to turn this one too, I think maybe. Yeah, let's leave that one. Making sure that there's still room for the cutter to go in between. So I'm going to click this one again and say duplicate. Now I'm going to move this square over here just for a second, and I am going to select all of these by clicking and holding, and then say duplicate. And duplicate. And let's move the box back. I think we can get one more row. So duplicate. Whoops. Select your whole row again and then duplicate. And put it down here. And then let's move our box back. Okay. We're going to have to finagle these a little bit. On this sheet. Okay, so now that we have all of our stickers on the sheet, just make sure there aren't any that are too close to the edge of where it can cut and that none of the edges are touching. Okay, so now what you're going to do is click on this black square and you're going to delete it. Then you're going to click and hold and select all of your stickers, and you're going to go down here and click attach. Now you're ready to make the stickers. So you're going to go up here and you're going to go make it. Okay, so now we're in the print then cut settings. This is what our sheet is going to look like on the paper. Okay, so we're going to select our Cricut Air. I'm going to hit refresh because I just turned it on, but it didn't connect there. Now it's connected, or connecting, I should say. And then I'm going to click send to printer. I'm going to turn off add bleed because we already did that. And I'm going to click use system dialog. Then I'm going to click print. Okay, so these are out of the printer. I think the saturation is a little bit high. I'll probably end up using these as freebie stickers. I'm going to have to
tweak the settings, I think, a little bit. Maybe I'm happy with them. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know till they're cut out. So let's go cut these out. So here we are over at my Cricut. I'm going to open it up. And because this is printable vinyl, I'm going to put this to, it is on custom. And I will explain why in just a second. If you're doing just like a glossy printer paper for a sticker sheet or a matte paper sticker sheet or something less heavy than printable vinyl, you would use cardstock for die cut stickers. And I'll show you what to do with sticker sheets here in a minute. Okay, so because we have custom, we're going to go browse all material. Okay, so we're going to click cardstock, medium cardstock, done. And then I'm going to do more pressure because it's vinyl. All right, now I will show you how to load the material. I'm going to take your light grip Cricut mat. Mine's getting a little dirty. I'm gonna have to replace it soon, but not yet. And then you're going to very carefully line up your stickers in the upper corner. If you don't do this right, the sticker is not gonna cut right. Okay, and then I like to take the cover that came with it and put it over it and just press it down. That keeps the ink nice, although if you printed it on the right settings, it should not smear. Okay, now we have to load it into the machine. Here we are over at the machine again, and we're going to load it in. And then once this light over here is flashing, we hit go. Nope, I forgot a step. Sorry, I quick unloaded it. The reason for that is on this vinyl, because it's so shiny, I have to cover the registration marks with some matte tape. I just buy the Scott Magic tape in matte at the store, and I just cover the registration marks. I'm sorry my work area is so cluttered. I've got about 6 projects going all at once. I'm filming a tutorial for Patreon. I'm designing products for my shop launch. I'm working on 3 separate sponsored videos. I have stuff everywhere and I can't clean it up because I'm in the middle of everything with it. Hopefully by next week things should be a little calmer. Now we're loading it for real this time. Alright, so you put the mat into the machine and you click go. Or actually load, that's the load button. And then go. Okay, now before you unload it, check and make sure that it cut all the way through, and it did. So, now you can unload it. Okay, you guys, we're over back here at the desk, and I thought I was filming, and I pulled this background off already, and it turned out I was not. So I sort of put it back on. But what we do is we pull the background off, and then we remove these stickers with the little spatula. If you can, it's better to bend the sheet and not the sticker, so I like to put it over the edge of my desk and then put the spatula underneath. And I think these colors are still a little too saturated, so I am going to adjust these, I think. These will be freebie stickers probably when my shop opens. So that is how you make die cut stickers. And I think I've run out of time for today, so tomorrow I will show you, all in one video. I'll be right back. For you, it'll just be a blink of an eye, but for me, tomorrow I'm going to show you how to do a sticker sheet. A Kiss Cut sticker sheet. Okay, so now we're back in my Cricut Design Space. Here, let's see if I can zoom you in a little bit. And now I'm going to show you how to do a Kiss Cut sticker sheet. So I'm going to go to my stuff. I'm just going to pick a sticker sheet I already have done. Well, the sticker sheet I was going to show you is in here. So I'm going to show you this one. This is a sticker sheet that I made for my kids. I'm not sure if I'm going to have it in my shop. If you think you'd like to buy it, let me know down in the comments. I'm going to do, I think, if I remember rightly, the background on this wasn't quite right. So I'm going to do like I did before. I'm going to make the width 6.75 and unlock it, and then the height is going to be 9.25. And then I'm going to move this on top, and then I'm going to say send backward and send backward.
And here's my son to show you how he likes to use these stickers. Wait, that's not. Okay. This is how he likes to use them. He decorates the back of his phone with it. Thank you.
That's my younger son. All right, so these look good to me. I'm not sure why I thought they weren't working, but they are. So I'm going to delete this square, and then just like last time, and these are all, this is done the same way, exactly as the other one. The 2 layers with the white tracing for the background cut layer, and then the picture. So I'm going to click it all, and I'm going to say attach. And this time, instead of using printable vinyl, I'm using glossy sticker paper. So I'm going to click make it. And while I'm waiting for that to go, I'm going to, yep, you're going to want your dial on your Cricut for custom for this as well, and I'll show you what to do when we get there. So this is going to be our 2 sticker sheets, and we're going to say continue. All right, so now we're ready to send it to the printer. We're going to say add bleed no, use system dialog yes, print. The reason I have to do this is I have to send it to, I have the sticker paper in the back tray. So I have to click paper source rear tray. Okay. This is also if you want to mess with the settings or whatever, this is where you would do it.
And then because this is also glossy sticker paper, I'm going to use the matte tape and cover up the registration lines like I did before. That way the sensor can read them without the glare shining back and confusing it. When I'm using glossy paper like this, well, really whenever I'm doing anything, I like to watch it make the first cut to make sure it looks like it's all lined up. If you catch it right away, well, with the sticker sheet, you're just kind of in trouble. But if you're doing die cut stickers and you catch a problem right away, it only ruins 1 sticker instead of like 13 stickers like we just made. But for the most part, that doesn't happen as long as it can read the sensor lines and as long as you have recently calibrated your machine. I do like to calibrate my machine pretty regularly. It depends on how much I'm using it, but at least once a month. We're going to line this up. Make sure everything's nice and straight. Okay, so I have it set on custom. I have this bookmarked, but normally you would go browse all materials and then you just write in sticky note. And then that is what you pick for a sticker sheet on not vinyl paper, but regular either glossy or matte sticker paper. And let's stick with default for now and we'll see how it goes. I know my blade's getting a little bit iffy. When your blade starts to get bad, you can turn up the pressure until it doesn't cut at all anymore. And that way you get a little more use out of your blade. All right, let's load the material and we'll hit go. And because I'm not sure about my blade, I'm gonna watch this first cut and make sure it does everything all right. And again, check it before you unload it with a sticker sheet. I like to just lift this corner closest to me and make sure it's all the way through, and it is. So that pressure was good. We can unload this. Okay, so here we are back at the desk. This one, a sticker sheet, this is when it's important to bend the mat and not your sheet. If you bend the sheet, it will stay bent. So you have to bend the mat and just slowly and carefully peel it up. We're going to use our cutter. I will probably invest in a good swing line cutter before I open my shop. What is on here? I think I got paint on here. If anybody has any good recommendations for a good swing line cutter that is self-sharpening, please let me know. So for this, we're just cutting inside the black registration lines. In my case, I'm also making sure that I
am cutting all the tape off. I did put it a little bit close to the edges, closer than I would like with this sticker sheet, but oh well. And then just right down the middle. I didn't give myself a ton of room here, so I have to be really careful. Ooh, I just made it. And then I'm going to use this corner rounder. Which one do I like? I always forget which one I like. I think it's the medium on the side here. We'll just check it on here and see. Yeah. I like to... The best way to use these is actually to flip them over so you can see what you're doing and make sure it's lined up. If you want to see these in my shop, let me know. I can do them in both glossy or matte. This is the glossy. This is just regular sticker paper, not printable vinyl, so not water resistant or anything, but fun for planners and sticker or cards, decorating cards and stuff. But there you have two very basic sticker sheets. I probably at some point will do a tutorial on how to do a sticker sheet with a background. So if you have any questions before then, drop those in the comments down below and I can answer those questions when I go to film the more advanced sticker sheet, how to make and print a sticker sheet with a background. And I am going to move the camera and talk to you for a minute. So you might have noticed while I was doing that, I didn't talk about my printers that I use, and I didn't talk about the sticker paper I use and some of those other materials. And the reason for that is, you know, a lot of YouTube channels or sticker makers, you know, that's sort of seen as their secret sauce. And it does take a lot of trial and error and researching and all of that to figure that stuff out. I'm willing to share that stuff with you guys, but I am going to put it on my website. The reason for that is I really just want to share it with people who are really serious about making stickers, and it's just one little extra step so that I don't have people just going down to my description and like copying and pasting it into their own video on how to make stickers or whatever. I know that probably wouldn't happen, but it's just like a little bit of a barrier, so only the people who are really serious and really want to know about that kind of stuff will download it. So it is going to be available on my website. Yeah, if you do have to put in your name and email, and I will put you on my email list. As of this point, I've had an email list for 4 months now and have not sent out any emails. You will not be getting tons of emails from me. The only reason I would send out an email, I think if I'm doing a shop update, I'd probably send out an email like the week before and then the morning of the update, just so people know. So if you don't even want the PDF, but you want the shop update, click the link down below too, because then you will get an email for shop updates. And if like anything really big or exciting or any really big updates come through that I would need to send out an email for, I would do that. And then just in case something were to happen to my YouTube channel, I'd have a way to contact my subscribers if something happened, like if my channel got hacked or something, so I could, you know, let you know. And if I had to build a whole new channel, holy moly, I hope not, but reach out to you. One of my Patreons shared a video with me about someone who had their YouTube channel hacked this past week, and it was nightmare-inducing. So it's really just so all my eggs aren't in one basket and to notify people of shop updates. And like I said, you'll have to put in your name and email. I feel like if someone's going to steal my secret sauce ingredients, maybe having to put in their name and email would be a little bit of a deterrent. So that's why I'm doing that. The link will be down below in the description box of this video. Anyway, if you'd like to join us over on Patreon, we're having a lot of fun. Right now, I still haven't settled on what all the benefits are. For sure, I have Sketchbook Club, and that's where we have a monthly theme and then 3 Sketchbook Club prompts each week that fit that theme. And then we have a Discord and Facebook group where we can share the art that we create with those prompts and just chat and make new friends and talk about art, and it's really a lot of fun. The Discord group is much more active than the Facebook group. So if you're looking to make friends and talk to people, I highly recommend the Discord group. The last 2 months, I've done a creativity
journaling prompt and then an art journaling page to go with it. I'm not sure if that's going to continue or not. I will be talking to people, I think, in early August to see if they want to do that again or not. And I do have some tutorials up on there that are exclusive to Patreon. I'm working on what you can see there of a wolf. You might have seen me start that in my first live stream. I did one of the eyes in my first live stream ever on last Friday. Today's Monday. Yeah. So if you would like to have tutorials and meet new friends and have a great time, you can head on over to Patreon and meet us there. Everything's only $4 because I'm still trying to figure out what the benefits are. So it's pretty affordable, I think, right now. And let's see. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe button, I would really appreciate it if you do so. It helps YouTube realize this is quality content. It helps YouTube realize this is quality content, and it pushes my video a little bit higher up in the algorithm, and that helps more people see my video, which helps support me so I can keep making videos like this for you. Until next time, happy creating!